I'm gonna try and be relatively quiet, not stupidly quiet, but quiet enough so that I don't wake Athena because she's asleep behind me in her Moses basket, which you probably can't see because my big blue head is covering it. So it's a little bit backwards the way I'm doing this because this video will be up before my labour and delivery experience thing, birth story, whatever you want to call it. So because this update is going to be up before that video, I'm not going to talk about, you know, the whole birth and blah blah blah. I might touch up on it a little bit, you know, here and there, but I don't really want to go into too much detail because I'm going to have a whole separate video to that because I do have a lot to say on my experience with having Athena and everything. It was pretty intense, probably like the most intense experience in my life. So in this video it's going to be like a little bit of an update on me and baby. So Athena is 12 days old today. Today is the 14th of July and she was born on the 2nd of July at 3:30 p.m. Oh my god, it's so crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy. So, I don't even know what to talk about. So this is like 2 weeks postpartum as opposed to 1 week postpartum, because I would say 12 days is closer to 14 days, isn't it, than 7 days. So let's just say this is 2 weeks postpartum. So I'm going to be relatively quick. I'm not going to ramble on for too long because I don't have the option to ramble on for too long because Athena's going to wake up at any minute and I'm going to be like, hey, Athena, meet YouTube. And then it's going to be booby time, if she doesn't disturb us in the meantime for booby time. So far it's just kind of been really, really crazy. I'd say that ever since she arrived, my whole world has been turned upside down in like every single way possible, like emotionally, mentally, you know, and physically. It's crazy. It's a really crazy experience. And I've only just got around to filming this video now because so much has happened in the 12 days that she's been on this planet already. And I say this because not only is it intense in itself having a baby and, you know, healing from giving birth and things like that, and, you know, the tiredness and everything else that comes with it, but about 4 days after I had my daughter, a lot of things went really, really badly in my family. Like, you know, things just blew up. I think it was 4 days after or 3 days after. I don't really want to talk about it too much, but basically my mum's finally lost it. She's finally lost it. And that was pretty intense for me as it is, because I don't really talk about that subject a lot on my channel, but she started going around to members of my family and spouting pure lies, absolute pure lies, and she turned up unannounced at my grandma's house, like my yaya's house, the house that I'm at now, uninvited, and it all kicked off basically. And I won't talk about it too much because not only can I not talk about it too much, but I don't really want to talk about it too much. But basically, it's ended in me having to get the police involved and get a restraining order against my mum, finally. I was going to do it anyway, but I suppose a little part of me never really wanted to have to do it because she's my mum, and even though she's cray-cray, and even though like I've just kept my distance from her and everything, it was something that I've tried to avoid for a while in a way too, because I kind of always hoped she would get help or that things would get better. But she's finally lost it. And my priority is my daughter now, so I need to keep her safe. And my mum isn't good for me, so she's not going to be good for my daughter. And she was going around on social media trying to make out that I have, what's that called now? Asperger's. She was saying I had Asperger's syndrome to like all of her friends on Facebook. I actually have a friend that has that, and you know, I know a lot about it myself. So that was kind of out of order for her to say that. Not that there's anything wrong with people that do have Asperger's syndrome, but it was wrong. She was saying all of this, saying I had finally settled on a diagnosis of bipolar disorder and all kinds of crap. It was just pure bullshit. A few days after I'd given birth, she stormed round to my house, you know, caused a load of crap. Stuff just ended up kicking off, and at one point she even got her partner to attack my partner. Because of that, you know, it's not safe for a baby. And even though, like, you know, I was hoping to have the keys to my house, like, you know, about a week and a half ago, it didn't happen, but we do finally have a move-in date now, which is Friday. So I'm in the process of moving everything and, you know, newborn baby, and it's all pretty intense. So that's why I've kind of been a little bit quieter, you know, apart from the 2 videos that I've uploaded already, or 3 by the time this one is up. But I just kind of wanted to talk a little bit more about, you know, postpartum stuff. None of that crap, but the nice stuff. It's hard for me to explain the amount of love that I have for my daughter already. It's out of this world, really. She's like the most perfect thing I have ever seen and made in my life. She's like the most perfect work of art. And it's crazy really, because even though I'm going to talk about this more, you know, in the video about the birth experience and, you know, labour and delivery and all of that crap, I just want to say that it is crazy the amount of love you feel for someone, that you feel like, I don't know, it kind of feels like she's always been there. And I feel like it's such a blessing to have her here now. And it's like ever since she was placed in my arms, all I want to do is protect her. And it's crazy really. And she's got such a personality already. Like, she had the heel prick test done. She did not cry at all. She was so strong. She let out this little squeal, but she didn't cry. So I was really, really proud of her. When she was born, she weighed 6'7". I thought she was going to weigh about 8 pounds or 7.5 pounds. So when they weighed her and said she was 6'7", I was shocked. So she's quite a tiny baby. She's in tiny baby clothes as well. I had to go and buy a lot more clothes because I got so much newborn stuff and, you know, like 0 to 3 months. Because I just had it in my head she was going to be a huge baby, but she's absolutely tiny. And even some of the tiny baby clothes, like, don't fit her. It's still baggy on her. It's crazy. It's crazy, crazy. Oh, I think somebody is waking up. I think someone wants to come and meet YouTube early. I'll show you my body now, 12 days postpartum, because I know quite a few people do the whole belly updates and things like that. And I think that the breastfeeding is definitely helping with my stomach at the moment. And I've noticed every single day there is an improvement, like my belly is going down and down and down. So that's really, really good. What else? My brain is a bit all over the place. This is what sleep deprivation does to you. I've taken a few pictures basically, and I'm wearing like my maternity gear as well, so it's really weird to see like me without a bump but wearing the same clothes that I was wearing when I had a bump. But yeah, I'll show you my belly now. Sorry this video is all over the place. I am running on no caffeine. So I'm back. I had to feed the little one because she was just like, give me booby now. And I tried to film while breastfeeding and it just did not happen. A sleepy little baby. Oh, I love the way she smells. I got lipstick on her head. It was only a matter of time before I got lipstick on her by accident, right? My bad. So if you can hear snoring, like a little piglet snore, that's because she is snoring away. And in a minute she's gonna wake up and be like, give me more booby. I love her little snore. It's like a... You're so cute. Anyway, what was I saying? I can't remember now. Considering I just fed her, I'll talk about like what I'm doing at the moment. So after I had her, more or less within an hour, we tried to breastfeed her and she took and she latched pretty much straight away, which I was really grateful for. Only I wasn't really making a lot of, what's it called now, the stuff before the milk. It begins with something, I'm sleep deprived. Colostrum, that's it. Colostrum. Did you just tromp on mummy's hand? We will forever be going off subject now. I was bad before and now I'm going to be even worse with the baby in my arms. But yeah, I wasn't really making much colostrum. She was taking it in and it was fine, and I was just breastfeeding solely for the first day, and then the second day she was fine again, and I was getting help like off the breastfeeding lady at the hospital. But then halfway during that night on my second day at hospital, or my second stay at hospital, brain, really frustrated and a little bit emotional because I'd pretty much gone days without sleep because I didn't sleep during my whole labouring process because I was in labour for 2 days. I didn't sleep very well the days leading up to my actual labour as well, so I was absolutely knackered, especially after like the horrific delivery experience kind of thing. So I was just really tired, and it was 2 days after I'd had her and I was just absolutely knackered. And I think the bottom line is I wasn't really producing enough to satisfy her because I would feed her, put her down, and then she was getting really restless and I was starting to like really worry, like, you know, like, at one point I thought I was starving her and they were telling me no she's fine, but I was so sleep deprived at this point, like I didn't want to step anywhere near, you know, formula. I really wanted to continue to try and breastfeed, and I knew that the more I put her on me, the more, you know, the faster my milk would come through and the more I would produce and blah blah. That's what I was told by like the hospital and things like that. And then midwife suggested maybe to give her just a 30ml top up of formula to give me a little bit of a break, and also to satisfy her and see if she was hungry and see if she, like, you know, took to the formula and blah blah blah. So she swallowed the 30ml formula like that, so she must have been hungry, which kind of led to the belief that I wasn't really producing enough to satisfy her. So I started giving her 30ml top ups of Aptamil, and I would put her on my boob first, you know, to try and stimulate things and get things going, and she was getting colostrum because I could like squeeze it out of my nipple and stuff, but it wasn't milk yet. So what I would do is I would like introduce her to like both boobs, and like for 10 minutes on each boob, and she would kind of have a little bit of the colostrum, and then she would have the 30ml top up of Aptamil. And I kind of got into this routine of doing this, and then one day I wake up and I have this rock solid boob, and it's just like, whoa, and it was so sore, I felt like I was pregnant on one boob. Ooh! Babies pull some really, really funny faces, don't they? And we speak to babies in really funny voices, don't we? Anyway, so yeah, brain all over the place. So I was worried I'd have to like stop breastfeeding at one point because it just wasn't really working out. And then I woke up with this rock solid boob, and then I massaged it in the shower like I was told to, and I started using the breast pump, you know, on both boobs to try and like push things along, and that really did help, and it brought my milk in. And then when my milk came in, it was like, yes! And I kind of thought to myself that I would, you know, continue with the top ups like I was told to do, so by like the midwife and stuff like that, until I had like a full-on milk supply established and things like that. But then I decided, like, you know, I don't know if I want to actually do full-on breastfeeding. Like, I am breastfeeding the majority now. Like, she pretty much feeds from me all the time now, which means she's on me a lot of the day. But we've also given her, you know, top-ups. Now we're giving her 30 to 40ml top-ups here and there, and it also helps because Niall can feed her too. I'm having some trouble expressing milk at the moment because every time I try to express it, it just goes everywhere. It's really funny actually, because like the other day, like, I don't know, I've been like massaging my boobs obviously to try and like, you know, stimulate milk production and blah 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 blah, like if she's not feeding from me, or like, you know, way before the milk came in probably. And I was trying to massage my boob, TMI, and I accidentally squeezed so much. It was like a scene out of that film with Adam Sandler where he accidentally milks that pregnant woman. I don't know what film that is. Someone tell me what film that is and comment down below. I'm so glad that she doesn't understand any of this. You're gonna think I'm such a weirdo when you're older. This is what no sleep does to me. I tell a lie really, because I actually got more sleep last night than I have in a while. What else did I want to speak about? So yeah, breastfeeding. I've established a routine now. It's not like a proper routine, like, you know, dead on this time and this time and this time and this time, because I don't really believe in that kind of thing. But at one point I was writing down, like, you know, in the earlier days, exactly when I was feeding her, how long she was on my boobs for, how much she was having with the formula, and I was doing that religiously every single day. But now I'm not doing that anymore because I feel like I just know. Like, I know when she's hungry, and I roughly know how long it's been since she's had a feed, and I can calculate how long she's been on my boob. After she's fed on one side, I offer her the other side and all that jazz. So I feel like I've kind of got breastfeeding like down to a T now, and she doesn't have any trouble latching now. If she's really, really hungry, she has a habit of headbutting my boob and then doing this. It's so funny. And then like the other day, she completely confused my nose for a nipple. Like, I was burping her after, like, you know, feeding her on my shoulder, and then she just moved her big little moon head. Well, a baby's face when it's really close to yours, like, no matter how old they are, it just looks huge, and this big eye just like, whoa, whoa, whoa. She totally thought my nose was a nipple. My nose is not a nipple, baby. It's not a nipple. I can't stop smelling her. So yeah, completely thought my nose was a nipple. I have no idea. Like, this conversation that we're having, YouTube / everybody that is watching this video, is so all over the place. You can probably tell that, like, you know, I'm a new mum, can't you? Because I'm so knackered. So tired. Me and Niall haven't established a routine yet, so we've been completely winging it. We've not been like, you know, some people, they establish a routine very early on, like, you know, some people will be like, oh, well, I'll do the morning feeds, you do the night feeds, then you sleep this time and I'll sleep this time. Because our schedule is all over the place because we're moving at the moment, plus the fact that, you know, Niall's got work here and there or whatever, and then I've had other things to do here and there, and it's like, plus all the stuff with my mum. Things haven't really been established yet, but we've kind of just been helping each other out. And one thing I really want to talk about and like touch upon in this video is the fact that lack of sleep does some crazy things to you as a couple. Like, people that have had new babies, like, I really want to like stress this, like, it does put stress on your relationship, and I would say it definitely has put stress on mine and Niall's relationship in parts, because when you're so exhausted, you can say some things that you really don't mean. You're smiling, look at this smile. I don't know if you guys could see that, but he's just been like, if he's sleep deprived, he hates me, and if I'm sleep deprived, I hate him, and then like 10 minutes later or an hour later we'll just be all lovey-dovey and happy again. It's mad, it's crazy. But one thing that really touches me and, like, you know, makes it all worthwhile, like all of like the sleep deprivation, you know, like the little twinges me and Niall are having there. It's just like watching Athena and Niall together. It's like one of the most amazing things I've ever seen. My arm is really hurting right now, so I am going to check her nappy, and she also really hates having her nappy changed. A few things about Athena: she hates baths, loves being moisturised though after a bath. She also loves having her hair washed, doesn't really mind having her face washed unless she's exhausted. Hates baths, absolutely hates baths. Even though you have a cute panda towel, and if I had a cute panda towel I wouldn't hate baths. Hates baths, loves walks. She loves daddy singing. She also loves daddy putting on weird accents. She loves music, which is really awesome because that's one thing I was really hoping to establish while she was in my belly. She also likes cuddles, don't you? She loves flaring her nostrils as well, just like her daddy. But yeah, I'm gonna see if her nappy needs changing now, and then I will continue. I'm gonna put her down, so here we have Sleeping Beauty. Look at the way she's sleeping. She's so funny. She's so funny. She's wearing a really pretty dress. She's so tiny. She's wearing a pretty dress with really baggy tights because she's tiny. She's really tiny. Look how floppy she is. You can hear her breathing, by the way. Just letting you guys know, even though she's really floppy. Say hello, Athena. Say hello. Well and truly asleep. She wanted to show you her pretty dress. They're pretty. Nom 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 nom. Someone hungry? Again. I'm back after the nappy change, which wasn't actually that bad. I thought she was going to do a right whopper, but she didn't. It was just a little poo. Just a little poo. I've been calling them little presents that she leaves for mum because she doesn't leave as many presents for daddy. She loves pissing all over daddy, but she leaves like poop explosions for mama. And now she is in bed after singing some Johnny Cash to her. That's another thing as well. She loves being sang to. And it's like she recognises my voice from me singing to her when she was in my belly, and like, you know, the music that I listen to and things like that. And she also loves listening to Niall sing as well, so that's something else that's really awesome. I'm trying to think what else I have to say in this update, what people normally speak about. Another thing, in my last pregnancy vlog, I think it was, or maybe 2 pregnancy vlogs ago, I mentioned I didn't have any stretch marks. I did not have any stretch marks until after I gave birth. I have like 2. I have like one near my appendix scar, and then I have one really low down. They're not really that noticeable, so I'm not really that arsed at all, to be honest. Someone did warn me in the comments section as well that, like, you know, you might not get away with it, like, you know, you might get some stretch marks after you deliver. And yeah, whoever you were correct. They both popped up after she popped out. Wish she had popped out, didn't quite pop out. But yeah, I don't know what else to mention in this video. I just kind of wanted to do a little bit of an update, and I did want to introduce you guys to her in like this kind of way. But as you can tell, sleepy baby, very sleepy. She is asleep in her Moses basket now. She's not always sleepy though. She loves to party throughout the night and keep mummy and daddy awake. So if I'm looking quite tired and my hair's a mess, then you know why. It's also quite difficult to move, you know, and pack with a newborn baby, I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, I'm trying to think what else to tell you guys. I'd say let's do a bump update, but there is no bump no longer. It's a little bit of a bump, like a little bit of a podge, but not really. It's really weird actually. It's kind of like I expected to have this huge flabby belly, and when they took her out of me, it was kind of like I felt deflated almost, because it was just like an empty bag on my front, which was really strange. I keep going to touch upon the birth and then remembering I'm going to do a completely different video about that because I have so much to say on that, you know, because I ended up having an episiotomy and a really difficult labour. So I think that's something that would be really good to talk about, because a lot of people think that, you know, a lot of these YouTube births and things like that, you know, when people talk about it publicly, that it's straightforward, but it really isn't. Everyone's birth is completely different, and mine was the complete opposite of what I thought it was going to be. Like, you know, without going into too much detail, I ended up with forceps and an episiotomy, which was no fun. Recovery wise, I didn't realise how many maternity towels I would need. It says on the packet of maternity towels, you know, like TMI, bring enough like for the first week or the first like few days, and it is like over a week now and I'm still in need of them. I would suggest that anyone that's pregnant gets more than 4 packets, because I only had 4 packets of them thinking that that would do me. Nope. You're going to want to change those every single time you go to the bathroom. It's just not nice. TMI again, it's kind of just like the worst period you ever had, ever. And if you get an episiotomy, you're probably going to bleed even more. It's like sitting down is a pain in the ass. It really is, literally. Like, I've been sitting on a cushion. I'm sitting on a cushion now. I bought a feeding pillow, but Athena's too small for me to feed her on the feeding pillow, so it's now my bum pillow. I've just been sitting on the opposite side of the cushion, on the couch, in the car. Just, my tush is sore, and my vajayjay is incredibly sore. It feels like I've been punched there, but apparently that's because of the forceps, because if you have a forceps delivery, it's just really, really painful. Ouch. So everything's fine. She's really, really healthy. I'm really, really, really grateful. I'm knackered, which I keep saying over and over again. So I really don't know how to like go about saying when my next video will be and stuff like that. I'm trying to stay, you know, in touch with you guys, and if I don't make a video for a while, please check my blog, because I do tend to write on that, and I'm always updating my Instagram and my Facebook page. I'm weirdly awake, but I still kind of feel like I'm in la la land. But I'm going to take this opportunity now that she's gone to sleep to eat something, because all I have eaten today is a chocolate muffin. A chocolate muffin? That's bad, that, because I'm breastfeeding. I need to eat more frequently. That's another thing I realised. I need to continue to eat like I'm pregnant because I'm breastfeeding. So I'm going to get on that now, and I'm going to go get some food. So I hope this update was postpartum update. That's it. Was what you guys expected, and I hope that this made sense, because I'm so tired, but it's mad. I just can't stop taking pictures of her. I've never been so in love in my life. She's just like the most perfect thing I've ever made, seen, heard, smelt. It's like, for the first week, her poos and wees, they smell beautiful. They smell like candy. It's starting to get a bit stinkier now though, but I still don't mind. It's really weird how you adjust to this kind of thing, because like, I just, oh, the thought of changing someone's nappy, you know, like other babies' nappies and stuff before this, it's really grim. It's just not nice, but I don't mind changing her at all. It's like, I'm really not arsed. It's like, you think, oh, I'm not looking forward to all those nappies I'm gonna have to change, you know, for the next couple of years or whatever, but I don't mind. It's so natural. It's so weird. The Nile cam video, that just makes me laugh. I had to upload that. I know it's not much footage, but it's just when it cuts to me, like on the ball, rocking back and forth, I was just crying, eating a Mars bar ice cream. One minute I was crying and the next minute I was laughing. It was so funny. I was such a mess at that point. Such a mess. And little did I know she was back to back. She was posterior, and that's why I was in that much pain. So like, considering, you know, all of the things that were going on inside my body that I wasn't aware of at the time, I did really bloody well to do natural labour for 2 days. So I am proud of myself. So yeah. Bye! Snoring away there. My shoulder is not a boob, Athena. My shoulder is not a boob.